The prolonged dry conditions are accelerating pasture depletion and limiting natural regeneration. Crop production has been negatively affected due to moisture stress, with poor harvest reported in both marginal agriculture and mixed farming areas. Staple food prices continue to rise, eroding household purchasing power. Of key concern is the increased reliance on food assistance and market purchases, increased risk of acute malnutrition in many counties, especially among children under 5, and the pregnant and lactating women, and reduced dietary diversity and meal frequency at household level. Livestock body conditions are generally very poor, with declining or completely none, I would say in some cases, milk production and increased livestock migration in search of pasture and water. And in some of the counties, livestock has actually started perishing. And in some counties in the north today, you can get a goat or a sheep for as little as 500 shillings. Intervention by counties. Counties have activated county drought mitigation and disaster management committees and scaled up early warning and coordination mechanisms. In many counties, there are ongoing interventions that include water tracking, borehole rehabilitation, and protection of strategic water sources. There is counties that are also attempting to do livestock feed supplementation and food assistance and targeted social protection for vulnerable households. Many of those counties are also predominantly inhabited by people of the Muslim faith. Ramadan is fast approaching. It's going to be, the way things look, one of the toughest situations in which to fast in those counties. And we are trying to do our best to prepare some food supplementation during the month of Ramadan as well. Counties continue to work closely with the national government agencies and development partners, faith-based organizations, and humanitarian actors to mitigate the worst impacts. In fact, Your Excellency, had it not been for the interventions we're doing, the situation would have been a lot worse. Despite these ongoing efforts and the responses by both levels of government, we remain constrained by increasing number of households and livestock that requires intervention and the inadequate financial resources for response. On the urgent actions required to be carried out by both levels of government and partners, we need to increase food and non-food items assistance for vulnerable and affected populations. We need to enhance water supply interventions, water tracking, borehole rehabilitation, and deployment of additional water bowsers to ferry water to distressed communities. Distribution of livestock feed and activation of livestock offtake programs and insurance payments for those that are insured under the index-based livestock insurance schemes. Nutrition interventions in high-burden counties, maintenance and rapid repair of strategic water infrastructure. On policy recommendations and actions, I believe it's actually time to declare this drought a national emergency to help us accelerate resource mobilizations and scale critical interventions. There is need to reactivate county strategic committees. As I said, they're already active on the ground across the affected counties, and those that continue to enter the emergency situation, because these are the formal intergovernmental and multi-sector coordination platforms across our counties for aligning development partner, county governments, and national government intervention. And this will ensure harmonized, well-sequenced, and coherent implementation. 3, timely release of county shareable revenue and enhanced drought financing from National Contingency Fund. We also appeal to the controller of budget to also help us fast-track releases of funds, especially on matters that touch on the drought intervention. Timely release of county shareable revenue and enhanced drought financing from National Government Contingency Fund. I'd said that. Seek no objection from development partners to activate emergency response windows under certain programs. These are mostly World Bank financed programs, such as the Food Security Resilience Program, FSRP, the Drive under the Horn of Africa, and the NAV CDP programs. The county governors, Treasury, and World Bank people will understand what those mean. We need to be allowed, and I think there's already conversations around that, to use, if not all, certain percentages of those funds to support response, especially in the predominantly livestock rearing counties, because the best food security measure you can help them with is really to save their livestock today. Long term, of course, we need to rethink our strategy, much as my good friend Dr. Jackson has put the blame to the powers that be in the northern and western hemisphere. Is it western or eastern hemisphere? I'm not sure this is the best time to discuss that with them. We just need to have our own local solutions. There are discussions that we're having with the Ministry of Agriculture about introduction of certain drought-resistant crops. And I know AFA, KEFIS, CALRO aligned in the introduction of things like olives and dates in that part of the country, so that at least when maybe 10 years from now, we are in a better situation than we are today. I think I'll leave it at that. Dr. Jackson, we wish you the best in your future endeavor, and wherever you go to serve. And we thank you for the cooperation and collaboration that we've had with you during your stay in Kenya. I thank you all.
Thank you, Chair, Council of Governors. Thank you for that presentation and remarks. At this juncture, let me welcome the Prime Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, to make his remarks and continue with the rest of the program. Welcome, sir.